In the last video, I mentioned that I haven't fasted for the past 5 years. Why, you may wonder? It's because I had my kids. I was pregnant and I was breastfeeding 2 kids back to back. So this Ramadan is the first Ramadan that I am fasting in the past 5 years. Wow. But don't worry, I haven't broken any rules by not fasting, because women who are pregnant or breastfeeding are exempt from fasting. Of course, they can fast if they wanted to, and if their health and their body and their baby allows them to, of course they can, but not every woman can do it. And alhamdulillah, if a woman feels like she can't do it, her health doesn't allow her to fast during the month of Ramadan when she's pregnant or breastfeeding, she absolutely can skip fasting. And I was one of those women. Even if I wanted to fast during my pregnancies, it wouldn't be possible for me, just because I have a 9-month-long nausea. It wasn't pretty. Even if I attempted to fast, I wouldn't be able to hold my fast throughout the day. It would break. And when I was nursing, I would struggle with dizzy spells. It's actually one of those things that really attracted me to Islam, is the fact how much compassion there is for women and the struggles that we go through. We also don't have to fast when we are on our cycle. It's amazing, because we go through so much and our bodies go through so much. Alhamdulillah, we don't have to add fasting on top of that. And when I was researching Islam, if you didn't know, I am a Muslim revert, and I reverted 10 years ago, alhamdulillah. I have an entire video on how it all happened for me and why I chose Islam over here. I'm gonna link it so you can check it out. I'll also leave it in the description below. When I was researching Islam, I was amazed by how much compassion there is for women and so much understanding for our unique situations with, having babies and taking care of our babies, and that we can be exempt from fasting because of that, because some things take priority, and taking care of our health and prioritizing our well-being is so much more important. And whenever I would talk on social media about me not fasting during the month of Ramadan, I would often get a lot of comments, women sharing their stories, women sharing how much pressure they felt. I received a lot of negative comments towards my situation, saying that, oh, I have an auntie who fasted. It's possible, why are you not even trying, without really understanding my real life personal situation. I know that there are women who fast, and honestly, more power to them, but I know there are women like me who can't fast, and they know they're allowed not to fast, but they unfortunately feel so much pressure, and because of that they have a huge amount of guilt. They feel like they're doing something wrong when they're not fasting during the month of Ramadan, which I think the whole feeling guilty is wrong, because alhamdulillah we are exempt from fasting. Feeling guilty just doesn't help anybody, and doesn't help your mental health. Do I feel guilty? Absolutely not. I knew that over the past 5 years I prioritized the health of my children. I prioritized my own health so I could sustain my children during the pregnancy and during the time that I was breastfeeding them. It's an honorable thing to do, and there is nothing wrong with skipping your fasts, because you are allowed to. And hey, we can always make them up later down the line, inshallah, if we can. And if we can't make it up for whatever reason, we can always feed a hungry person for each day that we missed. There is nothing to feel guilty about it. I pray and I hope that women in our community get more grace and get more understanding from our community. And I hope that women themselves put less pressure on themselves and feel guilty that they can't fast. Those early motherhood years are so short and are so temporary. Like, the pregnancy is temporary, the breastfeeding journey is temporary. Here I am now fasting, and alhamdulillah, I feel very connected and I really enjoy fasting this year. And I'm really glad that I didn't put so much pressure on myself when I couldn't fast. I just personally think it defeats the purpose. Like, if you feel that pressure and you try to attempt to fast and you know that it's not good for you and it's not good for your body and it's not good for your child, or like, God forbid, you lose your milk or faint. I had dizzy spells when I would try to explain myself, and it would be like, imagine me carrying my baby down the stairs and I suddenly get a dizzy spell and I faint. What would the consequences of that be? You just have to really consider the pros and cons, just make an informed decision. And I think that every mother, she knows her body well, she knows her baby well, she knows what's best for her and her child. And I believe that she should be free to make that choice without pressure and judgment. At the end of the day, the way we worship Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is between us and Him. So that's what I believe, and I think that women in our community should be all supported and not feel guilty for not fasting. And hey, there are so many different ways you can stay connected to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. There are so many ways you can continue your worship and get lots of rewards during this holy month. I actually have an entire video that I've put together sharing different ways that you can still feel connected to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala during the holy month of Ramadan, even if you can't fast. I'm gonna link it over here and I'm gonna link it in the description below. If you are a mom or you're pregnant or you're breastfeeding and you can't fast this year, I want to tell you not to put so much pressure on yourself. Just focus on the season of life you're in, focus on yourself and focus on your baby, and worship Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala in the ways that you can and in the ways that doesn't put your health or your baby's health at risk. Inshallah, you will be able to make up those fasts, or you'll be able to make up for them in other ways. I really hope that you are enjoying this Ramadan and that you are staying connected to your deen and enjoying your early motherhood journey.
Don't forget to like and subscribe for more hijabi adventures in New Zealand.